Hello, 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 hello. I'm here. Thank you, God, I made it. It has been a long day, but man, we are doing it. Another broadcast here with me, Jon Rognerud. We're on the Chaos Map channel here live, and hey, if you're coming in here watching this, you're looking at a brand reputation management success principles. But before we dig in here, anything that I'm doing in these broadcasts and online on media and marketing, thank you all, of course, coming in here and listening and watching and taking notes. I just wanted to say thanks. And also, if you like anything that you are hearing here today, feel free to go out to chaosmap.com and click the big old green button, and you can set up a time to meet with us, and we'll try and help you. And if you like what you hear there, maybe there's an opportunity to work together. So full disclosure here. So that's CHAOSMAP, chaosmap.com. And so, yes, once again, thank you. And if you are watching here today, I'm going to be talking about 7 ways to protect and repair your online reputation. We have dealt with this over many years. People still do, of course, in the marketplace, very important, but also from an SEO perspective. There's different ways to handle this, and we're going to cover that today. And I'm not going to go too deep into the SEO, search engine optimization side of this, but what you're looking at is what we put together as a download for reputation management success principles. We call this. We specifically did this for the financial services industry, but it applies across really all industries online. Because if you have a presence online, you may be vulnerable, right? Depending on how you see it and how you fare, right? If you're an ethical, upfront, high integrity organization, this will just be really good to know about and learn more about. So that you can enhance what you already have. So, but without further ado, and by the way, I'll create a link to this in the show notes so that you can get to these 10 steps here. And I mean, I'll call out just a couple here since we're on here, because not all of you are seeing this. These principles are based on analysis. Obviously, we got to understand where you're at right now, where you've been, and we know where you are going, which is, of course, to enhance your reputation and to get rid of any negative, mentions, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of it's going to be around content development, content placement. Certainly, we're going to dig into social media profiles. Press releases still valuable for positioning, not so much for links anymore. In fact, they disavowed that more or less from a Google perspective. Domain strategies, interlinking, brand anchor text links, geo access tests, monitoring, adjustments, reporting. I just went through the 10, and I didn't say I said I wasn't going to do that, but there's a lot more to it. So I don't want this to take away from the presentation here today, which is going to be about the 7 ways to protect and repair. And so what we're looking at here is one of the blog posts that we wrote, and Warren Buffett, great guy, multi-billionaire, of course, 88 years young now. He says it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you will do things differently. Great quote, kind of sets the stage for this conversation. But it's a fragile thing to deal with, reputation, obviously. But there are ways that you can protect yourself and begin to fix this. So here's 7 ways then that you can begin to think about how to enhance this and fix it for the future. Number 1 is authority. And here's, authority here is beyond just simple the Google and the search engines trust and authority. Of course, that is central because if you have authority, you can essentially own the front page of Google for your own brand name, right? And that's what you want. Things may sneak in here, but that's where you have an opportunity to build more content and to push things into page 2. But you want to rank for your brand name and for associated URLs and assets and properties online, including YouTube, LinkedIn, etc. Right? LinkedIn company pages rank very highly, but that develops that essentially gives you an idea about you needing to own the home page, the first 10 listings in Google Organic. Second page, most people don't go to it, right? And number 2, have a plan before fixing it, right? So at the corporate level, do you have a plan before you fix your brand reputation? Basically, it's not just you as the organization, right? You have a team, you have, a few employees, hundreds of employees. What is the policy regarding reputation management and what's the best way to fix a problem. Sometimes it's just not to respond to the problem at all, right? So you need to have a SOP here for this as well. Standard operating procedures that allow the entire organization to understand how you respond and don't respond. Number 3, be quick to apologize to customer complaints. You've seen this out there too many times of the CEO sort of going quiet when things happen. The latest I can think of is airlines, right? United, I think it was recently, or not too long ago. The CEO just goes quiet and the chatter starts, right? This is the worst, right? So you want to swiftly respond to your customer complaints, even if it's just a statement that's generic, but it's specific enough to address the problem, and that you're very swift about getting to this, right? Because unhappy customers and just the sort of social media chatter, they're just going to tell 10 of their friends that tell 10 of theirs, and this goes viral very quickly, as you've seen many times. So it's going to be your best interest as a brand and a company to be sure your customers get the best customer support and care that they need to be satisfied, and that it be quick. Number 4, control the conversation. Kind of ties into this, what I just talked about. But you can actually control this conversation if you set up a keyword and brand alert system correctly, right? So this is, you get an immediate alert as it's happening. Google.com/alerts is fairly easy to configure, right? It's also free, but there's many powerful tools out in the marketplace. But, making sure that you're monitoring the activity on your brand, very, very key here, because you essentially can get emails and dashboards provided to you that effectively control the conversation that's going on right now about your brand. And if things take a turn for the worst, you'll be able to respond quickly. That is really essential, as I mentioned. Free and paid tools are out here in the marketplace. Number 5, understand the complaints you receive. This is actually a big one as well. You want to make sure that you understand the complaints and what they actually mean inside the organization, and the elevation from, sort of light green to intermediate green to, yellow to red alert, etc. What does it really mean? I mean, are these complaints towards quality control around your products? Are they directed at customer service? What does it actually mean? And so to be able to segment that communication and respond to it is the best way possible to do it in order to fix it. Number 6, limit potential surprises, right? A great way to sort of protect yourself is obviously you have your .com. Make sure you get your .net, your .net and .org extensions as well. If you're a big brand, you want to just buy them all so that there's no contention with that. But sometimes there is an opportunity to buy, names that somebody might want to buy and pursue that has negative words like yourbrandsucks.com, right? It seems perhaps to some a little over the top, but you need to do research for your marketplace. And if this is something that's sort of common and you've seen it, you can own those URLs and you'll be able to control those domains. And that content is not going to be dispersed across those negative domains. Now, people will select any domain they want, right? And there's many ways to do this, but at least the obvious ones are going to be taken, right? However, I should make a side note to this. If you are doing that, it may also mean that you are, if you're thinking negatively about this negative energy gets drawn into your organization as well. People know that this is how you operate. If you're not, operating at a high enough integrity or the level here where people can, respect the brand without thinking, oh, they're registering all these sucky negative names because they are almost expecting that they're going to be attacked. That's not a great place to be, right? So, but I just want to mention this, that you can own certain domains by just picking them up, right? And number 7, very big here, use testimonials. That's number 7. Real, honest, believable, and real testimonials should be used on the website. And you can use this, of course, in all types of media, whether it's text on the page or in video, even though video doesn't actually get spidered at that level we want for SEO. You can do a lot with the tags and the titles and the meta information as well. But essentially now you have a consistent message about your brand. You have a consistent message from your testimonials and people have worked with you. And you're going to make a profound statement in the marketplace. So that's a very important one to use. Number 7, use testimonials. And the internet has definitely changed the way that reputation is handled and the way that it's perceived, right? And there's companies like Reputation.com out there, makes tons of money, helping brands get sort of a positive, mention and a positive light by essentially building link networks that push your valid content up high, and the negative content simply gets pushed down. Like basically you overtake the first page of Google. Naturally, the secondary low quality sites are going to be pushed down. So, but it takes more, as you've seen here, than just search engines and social media. There's going to be probably a team dedicated to this for SEO, public relations, communications overall, and also to address this long term. There's some fairly easy fixes out the gate. There's some that are going to be harder. We had a company we worked with in the financial world. It took 6 months to fix it. Some of these, as I mentioned, are quick turnarounds. Others certainly longer term. So, but if you're a company of high integrity and trust, then you just sort of got into this unfortunate situation. There is definitely a way out of there. So the good news is, these sort of logical and sequence steps can be mapped out for your reputation management, and then apply those in order so that you can not only protect it or repair it, but you can protect it going forward, right? So that's really what I wanted to get out to you here today. Kind of quick broadcast, but really very, very important. Because your corporate and your company reputation is very, very important, more than ever now, being online. It's just your competitors are a click away, and your brand name essentially is found everywhere. So you want to have a consistent, feedback loop on all of that, from the search side of the house to, of course, your customers, partners, and vendors. So anyway, that's kind of a quick one here for me. If you like what you hear and see, we've done this actually for years now with SEO and reputation management. Head on out to chaosmap.com. That's chaosmap.com. Click the green button there and set up a time. And hey, look forward to speaking with you. Appreciate you as always. Thanks for coming on here. And by the way, if you have a chance, pop onto the podcast and subscribe for sure. But if you can, leave a review, leave an honest review. We're talking about reputation here today. I've gotten some great reviews on this out in the marketplace, and I actually have some now on the podcast, which is awesome, but I'd love more. It helps the rankings as well. And leave an honest one. Absolutely. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time today, and have a great day, evening, or night. Jon out. See you guys.